Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. We're tracking some breaking news at this hour. A suspect has been identified in the shooting at a Fred Meyer in Richland from today. Within the last hour, Richland police identified 38-year-old Aaron Christopher Kelly as the suspect in that shooting. He has a warrant now for first-degree murder and is believed to be driving a silver 2005 Honda Civic. Although police say they've identified the gunman at this hour, they're still trying to track him down. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is live at the scene tonight. And Kyle, what do we know at this hour?
Well, Mark, police have also identified the man shot and killed as 38-year-old Justin Crumbaugh. The second victim remains in critical condition. And right now, this Fred Meyer store remains an active crime scene.
What happened in our city today was a senseless and tragic act.
A terrifying scene inside this Richland Fred Meyer store when police say 38-year-old Aaron Christopher Kelly opened fire, killing another man and injuring a store employee who was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Richland police say the first 911 call came in at 11:03. Officers were on scene within a minute.
One of the victims was obviously deceased inside the store. Officers carried the surviving victim to the store exit where Richland Fire was staging, and they took over life-saving measures at that point.
Customers and employees were evacuated while nearby schools went into a modified lockdown. Police say Kelly walked into the store and began talking with the man before shooting and killing him. Police identified that victim as 38-year-old Justin Crumbaugh. The second victim remains in critical condition. Police believe Kelly is driving a 2005 silver Honda Civic with Washington license plate BXC 3305. He's considered armed and dangerous. Police are asking anyone who sees him to call 911. Police have not said whether the gunman knew any of the victims or what motivated the deadly attack. Richland police are getting help from dozens of law enforcement agencies, including the ATF, FBI, and the Spokane County Sheriff's Office.
Again, we want to assure our community that we're taking every measure to locate the suspect, and we will not rest until he's in custody.
And Fred Meyer released a statement saying their thoughts are with everyone affected by today's shooting and that counselors will be available for staff. The story is developing minute by minute. We're going to continue to follow it as police search for the gunman. Reporting live in Richmond, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. And we will continue to follow this shooting overnight, so be sure to watch Up with KREM tomorrow morning for any updates on this investigation. Well, new tonight, as the city of Spokane prepares for a downtown parking makeover, they announced a temporary time limit increase for some of their parking spaces. This comes after the city announced they'd be replacing meters and kiosks with new ones. One of the big changes is that 43 downtown meters have switched from a 4-hour limit to all day now. Now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. Spokane City Council member Jonathan Bingle proposing a resolution that would block vaccine mandates in the city.
We could lose a lot of people. And so in a time when, the city and certain departments specifically are incredibly understaffed, I would hate to see more committed and dedicated civil servants losing their job for any number of reasonable objections. And so for that reason, I bring this forward.
The resolution would prevent the city from implementing vaccine mandates in any level of city government. The proposal comes after Bingle was censured by the council for refusing to wear a mask in City Hall. No other council members spoke about the proposal. Fellow council member Michael Cathcart said a vote on the resolution likely wouldn't happen until the end of the month. The Washington Coalition for Police Accountability held a rally today in front of the Spokane County Courthouse. The rally was to protest efforts in Olympia to modify police accountability laws enacted last year. The coalition was joined by families impacted by police violence and Spokane Community Against Racism. The 3 bills the coalition are concerned about would modify previously passed bills that required police to attempt to de-escalate situations before using force and set limits on when police could pursue suspects. Meantime, supporters of the bill say they would give officers more options and clarity on how and when to use physical force. The North Spokane corridor is supposed to allow for faster travel times and decrease traffic, but one Spokane neighborhood says it's left out of the corridor's promised opportunities. The East Central chair took his concerns to the national level and contacted Pete Buttigieg, the U.S. Secretary of Transportation. The chair asked the secretary for more funding after they say the state denied them it. The chair of the East Central neighborhood says his community will be damaged in a way similar to when I-90 split the community in two all the way back in the 50s.
I would predict, given the successes we're seeing here with our college graduates landing jobs, that 18 to 34-year-old group will also be very stable, if not grow.
A team of economists at Eastern Washington University is tracking the changes that we can expect as Spokane continues to grow. And as we continue our Boomtown Week tonight, we take a look at the latest developments in Spokane County and what we can expect in the years to come. We'll share more about those developments coming up in just about 5 minutes from now. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them directly to your phone. All right, let's talk weather now. We saw pretty nice conditions today. The sun was out. It was actually warmer than it has been. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick joining us now in the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. Thomas, a lot to celebrate about today's weather, Thomas.
Yeah, and don't forget, it was also the first day of a 5 p.m. sunset. Haven't had one of those in 3 months. And we'll have more sunshine to watch these later sunsets as well, as we do have a pretty stable but fairly mild for February standards weather pattern. Quiet out there tonight, clear skies overhead. That will allow temperatures to drop well into the 30s as you might expect. But even today, 45, the warmest day in probably about 2 months for the region, up to 61 in Lewiston, 60 out of the Tri-Cities. So there is some shorts weather not too far away. But as we look ahead to tomorrow morning, 32 degrees to 31 right around the morning hours. There will be some mostly cloudy conditions, maybe just a touch cooler for tomorrow before we warm things up into the weekend as well. A lot of 40s in our forecast. We'll show you the warmest of these days in just a few minutes.
Looking forward to that, Thomas. Thank you very much. The parents of a 5-year-old who hasn't been seen for a year are facing new charges. 5-year-old Oakley Carlson from Grays Harbor County hasn't been seen in more than a year. Right now, her parents, Andrew Carlson and Jordan Bowers, are being held on felony child abandonment charges related to Oakley's 6-year-old sister. So it's still unclear if the new charges are related to the investigation of the disappearance of Oakley. Neither Oakley nor any remains have been found. Both parents have pleaded not guilty to all charges. Their trial begins in mid-April. 5 states, including Oregon and California, announced plans today to lift statewide mask mandates in the coming weeks. This comes as COVID-19 rates decline and hospitalizations level off. Oregon's indoor masking rules will end on March 31st at the latest. Meantime, in California, their indoor masking requirement could end next week for those who are vaccinated. No word yet from the state of Washington. A middle school student is safe tonight after a crossing guard saved them. Check out this video right here. You'll see a car fail to stop at the crosswalk and the guard then pushes the student right there just out of the way. Unfortunately, that crossing guard was hit by the car, but they are expected to be okay. The National Cathedral Bell began to toll 900 times today, marking 900,000 COVID deaths in the U.S. Over the past 3 years, the cathedral has observed each 100,000 deaths by ringing the bell once per 1,000 deaths. Well, tonight, Spirit Week officially kicked off at the Spokane Arena for many high school basketball games. They're set to play there this week. Tonight was the Rubber Chicken game. Lewis and Clark High School and Ferris High School basketball teams took to the court as fans tried to be the most spirited they could to show why they deserve to take home the prize, which is, of course, that rubber chicken named Chuck. So a little later in the broadcast, we'll tell you who won that chicken and share more about tonight's game. All right, don't go to bed just yet. In just a couple of minutes, we'll continue our Boomtown Week with a look at the latest developments in Spokane County over the past few years. And coming up tomorrow morning, you've heard us say the word Boomtown, and some have asked what qualifies as booming growth. So we looked into the latest data from the 2020 census and compared it to the 2010 census. Coming up on Up with Krem tomorrow morning, we take an in-depth look at Boomtown by the numbers. We're back in just 90 seconds.